Last year, a 56-year-old man in Texas noticed something strange while putting on his socks. His feet felt different. Not painful, not swollen, just slightly numb, like they were asleep. He ignored it. Weeks passed, and the feeling spread to his toes. Then came a strange burning sensation at night, like his feet were resting on hot sand. He still brushed it off, thinking it was just fatigue from work. But when he finally went to see a doctor, he heard something that completely shocked him. "Your blood sugar is dangerously high. You have diabetes." What scared him the most was what the doctor said next. Those small changes in his feet had actually been warning signs his body was sending months earlier. And here's the truth most people don't realize until it's too late. Your feet are often the first place in your body where serious health problems start showing up. Long before a doctor diagnoses anything, long before you feel sick, long before you even think something might be wrong, your feet quietly begin sending warning signals. And one of the most common conditions that shows up in the feet first is something millions of people are dealing with right now: diabetes. Right now in the United States, more than 37 million people have diabetes. But what's even more shocking is that millions more have it and don't even know it yet. That's because diabetes doesn't always start with obvious symptoms. It doesn't always begin with extreme thirst or sudden weight loss like many people believe. Sometimes the earliest signs appear somewhere much lower: your toes, your heels, the skin on the bottom of your feet. And the scary part? Most people ignore these signals because they seem small or harmless. A little numbness, some dry skin, a strange tingling feeling. You brush it off. You say to yourself, "It's probably nothing." But those small signs can actually be your body waving a red flag. Let me tell you about someone I met a couple of years ago. His name was Robert. He was 58 years old, lived in Arizona, and worked as a delivery driver for most of his life. Robert was the kind of guy who never really worried about his health. He stayed active, worked long hours, and thought he was doing just fine. But one evening, he noticed something strange. His feet felt numb. Not painful, just numb, like when your foot falls asleep after sitting too long. At first, he didn't think much of it. "Probably my shoes," he said. A few weeks later, the numbness came back. This time, it lasted longer. Then he started noticing a burning sensation in the bottom of his feet, especially at night. He still ignored it. Months passed. Eventually, he went to see a doctor, mostly because his wife insisted. That doctor ran a few blood tests, and that's when Robert heard something he never expected. "You have type 2 diabetes." The numbness in his feet was actually one of the earliest signs of nerve damage caused by high blood sugar. And Robert isn't alone. This happens to thousands of people every single day. The body sends signals, but people simply don't recognize them. So today, I want to walk you through some of the most important warning signs that can show up in your feet if your blood sugar levels are climbing higher than they should. Some of these signs may seem small. Some might surprise you, but knowing them early can make a huge difference, because catching diabetes early gives you a much better chance of managing it, protect your nerves, and avoid serious complications later in life. Let's start with one of the most common signs: a strange tingling or numb feeling in your toes. Many people describe it as a pins and needles sensation, like tiny electric sparks running through the tips of your toes. At first, it might come and go. Maybe you notice it while lying in bed at night, or when you're sitting on the couch after a long day. Over time, it may start happening more frequently. This happens because high blood sugar slowly damages the small nerves in your feet. Doctors call this diabetic neuropathy. These nerves are responsible for sending signals between your feet and your brain. When blood sugar stays elevated for long periods, it interferes with those signals. The nerves become irritated or damaged, and the first place this often shows up is the toes. Another sign many people notice is burning sensations in the feet. Some people describe it as if their feet feel hot even when they're not. Others say it feels like walking on warm sand. The burning can be mild at first, but over time it may become stronger, especially during the night. Sleep can become difficult because the discomfort becomes more noticeable when the body is resting. Again, this is often related to nerve irritation caused by prolonged high blood sugar. But nerve symptoms aren't the only warning signs your feet can show. Your skin can also reveal clues. Extremely dry or cracked skin on the feet can sometimes be an early signal that something isn't right with your blood sugar. High glucose levels can affect the small blood vessels that supply moisture and nutrients to your skin. When circulation becomes less efficient, the skin may become dry, flaky, or rough. Cracks can appear on the heels. Sometimes these cracks become deep enough to bleed. And while dry skin alone doesn't automatically mean diabetes, when it appears along with other symptoms, it's worth paying attention to. Another sign people often overlook is a change in skin color. If parts of your feet begin looking darker, reddish, or slightly purple, it could be related to circulation changes. Healthy blood flow gives skin a natural color and warmth, but when circulation becomes compromised due to high blood sugar damaging blood vessels, the skin might start looking different. It might appear pale in some areas and darker in others. Some people also notice swelling in their feet or ankles. This can happen because the body begins retaining fluid when circulation and nerve signals are disrupted. Swelling may feel mild at first. Your shoes might start feeling tighter than usual, or you might notice sock marks on your ankles at the end of the day. Many people assume swelling is simply from standing too long, but when it appears frequently, it's worth investigating further. There is another sign that doctors consider particularly important: slow healing cuts or wounds on the feet. Imagine you accidentally scrape your toe or develop a small blister from new shoes. Normally, your body begins repairing that skin right away. Within a few days, the wound should start closing and healing. But when blood sugar levels remain elevated for long periods, healing slows down. That's because high glucose interferes with circulation and immune function. White blood cells, which help fight infection and repair tissue, don't work as efficiently. As a result, even small wounds can take weeks to heal. In more severe cases, they may become infected. That's why doctors often advise people with diabetes to check their feet daily. Another unusual sign people sometimes notice is increased sensitivity in the feet. While some nerves become numb, others become overly sensitive. Even light touches can feel uncomfortable. Bed sheets brushing against the skin might feel irritating. Socks might feel too tight, even when they're not. This happens because damaged nerves can send mixed signals to the brain. Instead of normal sensations, the brain receives distorted messages. Now here's something most people in America never realize until it's too late. Changes in the shape of your feet can also occur over time. When nerve damage becomes significant, muscles in the feet may weaken. This can lead to subtle changes in how the foot supports weight while walking. Some people develop conditions like hammer toes or changes in the arch. Shoes that once felt comfortable suddenly start causing pressure points. These pressure points can lead to calluses or sores if not addressed. Speaking of calluses, thick patches of hard skin forming on the bottom of the feet can also be a sign worth noticing. Calluses are common for many people, especially those who spend long hours standing or walking. But when circulation and nerve signals are affected, calluses may form more easily and become thicker than usual. If left untreated, these areas can sometimes break down and develop into ulcers. Another sign some people report is unusual itching in the feet. It may feel like a persistent itch that doesn't seem to go away. Sometimes this itching is related to dry skin. Other times it may be linked to fungal infections, which people with elevated blood sugar can be more prone to developing. High sugar levels create an environment where certain fungi and bacteria thrive. This is why things like athlete's foot may appear more frequently in individuals with uncontrolled blood sugar. Let's talk for a moment about why all of this happens. Your feet are located farthest from your heart. Because of this, they rely heavily on healthy blood circulation to deliver oxygen and nutrients. When blood sugar remains elevated over time, it damages both nerves and blood vessels. Think of blood vessels like highways carrying supplies to different parts of your body. If those highways become damaged or narrowed, fewer supplies reach their destination. Your feet are often the first place where this shortage becomes noticeable. That's why doctors pay such close attention to foot health in people with diabetes. Now here's the encouraging part. Many of these warning signs can improve or even be prevented when blood sugar levels are brought under control early. Simple lifestyle changes can make a powerful difference. Regular physical activity helps muscles absorb glucose more efficiently. Balanced meals help stabilize blood. Regular physical activity helps muscles absorb glucose more efficiently. Balanced meals help stabilize blood sugar throughout the day. Proper foot care helps prevent small problems from turning into serious complications. Even something as simple as inspecting your feet for a few seconds each day can help you notice changes early. Many doctors recommend checking the bottoms of your feet after showering or before going to bed. Look for redness, cuts, swelling, or unusual spots. If you have trouble seeing the bottom of your feet, using a small mirror can help. And if something doesn't look right, it's always a good idea to speak with a healthcare professional. Your body has an incredible ability to adapt and heal when given the right conditions. But it can only do that if you pay attention to the signals it sends. Your feet may seem like the last place you'd expect to find clues about your overall health. Yet, in many cases, they quietly reveal what's happening inside the body long before symptoms appear elsewhere. So tonight, before you go to sleep, take a moment. Sit down, take off your socks, and look at your feet. They might be trying to tell you something important. And sometimes, listening to those small signals can protect your health for years to come.